Welcome to Meet Me at the Deli, a food advice podcast where the pickles and slaw are always free. I'm Liz.
And I'm Jeffrey. Every episode, we're answering your burning food and culinary questions, and we're sharing our stories and insights from years working in the industry and living in our self-made shtetl. I wanted to share with you, I got a text message not long before we came here that was one of the sweetest things that I've ever seen. And as a pickle maker, it warmed my heart. So this kid, I think 7 or 8 years old, he chose for his science fair project to make pickles, lacto-fermented saltwater pickles, and he wanted to test the pH levels of them and determine which salt ratio gets to the proper acidic level that he's looking for to get a nice sour pickle faster.
How does the amount of salt affect microbial activity in lactic acid fermentation? Damn. Science fair. I hope he won the science fair. Do people still win the science fair?
I don't know if it's a competition, but
It used to be.
So I just wanted to share that with you. I thought you would appreciate this.
It totally warms my heart and it feels aspirational.
We want to introduce our special guest, Chef Aaron Israel.
From Shalom, Japan, one of our favorite restaurants in Brooklyn and the world, I dare say. Come on in, Aaron. Welcome.
Aaron, welcome.
Welcome to Meet Me at the Deli.
And first off, Shalom, Japan. Also, you opened a couple of years ago at the end of 2024, Tokidoki right next door. Quickly, just tell us a bit about, where were you and, what caused you to open this restaurant? And maybe you can tell us just a bit about it.
I had been working before. I worked at Teresi Italian Specialties, and they were really into this idea of Italian food and their own exploration of it. And it really got me thinking a lot about exploring Jewish food. And so I reached this point where I was like, I really want to open up a place and make it about Jewish food. But I met along the way my wife, and we started really connecting with each other through food. We reached this point in our relationship when we're like, you're a chef, I'm a chef. We cook together all the time, and if we're gonna open up, if I'm gonna open up a restaurant, and she's not gonna be a part of it, we're never gonna see each other. So we were like, We're either gonna do this together and see way too much of each other, or maybe not really see each other that much. So we're like, well, let's do this together. And then that's sort of what we started thinking about, what would this restaurant look like? And so it was still about this idea of Jewish food, but then also more like an exploration of these two people who are figuring out their cultures together.
I tried your matzo ball recipe for the first time in a few years. The first time it went so well. This time, all seemed to go fine until I shaped the balls and put them in the water. Some of the balls held together, but about a third of them came apart rather quickly. It was so disappointing to see the matzo ball crumble in the liquid. Luckily, I didn't cook the balls in the soup. Something similar happened with a different recipe as well, but only some of the matzo balls came apart. Where did I go wrong? From Sophia in Cincinnati.
This is a good one. I think we're really glad you're here.
I'm so
Dive
excited.
in, chef.
Wait.
Yeah.
We should. One of the reasons why we wanted to bring him here.
Oh, yes. Okay, right.
is not long ago, we had a conversation about matzo balls, and I think you encountered something similar to this, and I have encountered something. And Liz, have you ever encountered this?
Oh, I've encountered this.
I think that cooking on a lot of levels, can be broken down. Why are you succeeding and why are you failing? What are the variables? How do you control them? And kind of understanding them.
You've explored the variables.
We've explored the variables, and they are so maddeningly inconsistent sometimes.
I mean, I've got a lot of thoughts. I think, for me, I'm just going to start diving into this, which is that because we really love to crush our own matzah, I've definitely found that the texture of the matzah is a huge piece of this. So, I have attempted to make a more rustic matzo ball, which is, in fact, I believe in our cookbook what we call it, rustic matzo balls, because we like to see the texture. But I have found in general that if I do not go fine enough with grinding my handmade matzah, it will fall apart. It will not get the right texture. So what we like to do always is mix the ground matzah with some matzah meal, because matzo meal on its own almost feels too smooth. There's not enough texture. I like a little bit of texture. So that's where I've always seen the issue, and that's usually where I can catch it.
You know, I think really what it came down to is that we had started making larger batches of matzo balls by about 50% more. And we always knew that the way that we cook it would kind of have an effect on how the matzo ball kind of comes out. But we started really diving into that. And there's a real thing about how much water or liquid, and we use stock, we use like a vegetable stock with some kombu and, how much liquid you have that you're cooking the matzo balls in. There's a ratio that if you have too many matzo balls in there, they don't expand. It doesn't really have to do with them not having the room to grow, because they have plenty of room to grow. There's plenty of liquid. Where we kind of landed was that you need the stock to be circulating enough, boiling hard enough to actually move the matzo balls and circulate them. So if you put too many matzo balls in the stock, and they're kind of like, it will still be boiling hard, but if they're not actually like kind of tumbling appropriately with the movement of the stock, then one side will get stuck next to the other, and that side won't expand right. We started doing like 50 when we cut the amount that we were cooking in half, and we would cook half and then cook the other half. So there's the ratio of like matzo balls to stock adjusted, and then they were coming up, and it worked.
This next question is from Anna in Atlanta. What is the strongest, most pungent thing you ever fermented?
The thing that I have, it might be one you're thinking about, because when we were together, when we first went to Poland, and we went and met the mad pickler, Alexander Barona, chef in Poland, and he took us to his restaurant, and he has just had, this was Solec 44, it's closed, but he just had jars of all these fermented things.
In Warsaw.
And we like looked at one, all along the wall, we looked at one and we said, what is that? It looked like an alien in this giant like a 1 gallon jar, basically. And he takes it out, and he said, oh, this is a parsley root that I put in about 2 years ago. Let's try it. And it was just so intense. I almost had a physical reaction.
I would definitely say my friend's like homebrew of like fish sauce, but he was doing it on like the deck, so I didn't really get like the full, we weren't like in an enclosed space. Which
I know. Homemade fish sauce is legit.
Yeah, I mean that was pretty pungent.
I decided to come with a kvetch.
Okay, what's going on?
Well, I was thinking about this matzo ball question. I was thinking about matzo balls, and I happened to have seen on social media a little bit ago, there was this Guinness Book of World Records. A social media influencer made the world's largest matzo ball soup. He was working with an AI company to scale the recipe. The gimmick of this, I don't know if you remember, Liz, but years ago when we were starting off and someone connected us with like a PR company, and they're like, make the world's largest gefilte fish. And we were just like,
remember.
No, that's just cheesy.
Literally why?
And just seeing the gimmick of this in this giant vat, like just for the sake of like content and for AI, and like, do we want that with our matzo ball soup? This like precious piece of Yiddish deli culture, and we need AI involved. I don't mean to be a hater. It was more just like, this sucks. I don't know. I just didn't like it.
This is rant worthy. It's just like, here we are preparing this thing. People are writing us questions. Aaron's literally like doing anything he can to make a beautiful bowl of fucking matzo ball soup. And now someone's just like, I don't know, let's just make the world's largest bowl of it because of Guinness World Records and AI. Like, there's something about that just is like, no.
And I'd like to see if they could have made the world's largest matzo ball and still keep a good texture and not have it explode.
That's what I thought
that
you were
would have
going
been
to
like
say.
a challenge.
That's what I thought you were going to say.
With like technique, and be like, look at it, slice it through, it's like perfect, doesn't explode.
I'm still trying to get to the bottom of what really annoyed me about it, but it just like, you know what? I looked at this and I said, this isn't the future of Jewish food. Like, I don't want this to be.
I appreciate that because we've been on many a panel discussion where it is, what's the future of Jewish food? And I'm like, I don't know, man. But it's not this.